Alright folks, good to have you back for this edition of the channel. Please do like and share, subscribe if you're new here, and turn on the bell notifications icon so you never miss an upload on all the telco news and videos that we produce here on this channel. Alright, so this is a follow-up to a situation that I've been tracking from a gentleman named Chase who has the Verizon Home Internet. Specifically, he has the 5G Home Plus, which is the premium version of the service. And he's been using a lot of data, and he's been getting notifications from Verizon. And, this is important consumer information for us to know. If you're going to have the service, you got to kind of understand what the expectations are, what types of things you have to know as you kind of navigate your usage patterns, and how Verizon kind of executes and preserves the network in terms of how people utilize it. All right, so the 5G Home Plus, I think, is 300 megabits per second downlink and 20 megabits per second uplink. That's kind of like the speed tier, and it's unlimited. That's not changing anytime soon, but they do reserve the right to kind of monitor, manage the network for the power users of the world. Right, so here's a screen capture of his home internet usage during his billing cycle, and he's got about a week and a half left of the billing cycle, and he's already used almost 3 terabytes, and that's a lot of usage. That's now for a home broadband user, that's probably a lot. I'm not sure what the percentage of folks is that use a terabyte or more, but 2 or 3 terabytes definitely puts you into superpower user. It's probably only a small percentage of folks that actually use that much. So, I mean, and that's just for anything. That doesn't matter if it's fiber or cable coax or whatever. That's just a lot of usage. All right, so he's already been sent notifications, I think, before about his usage. So this would be consecutive bills. And, they sent this as kind of, I don't know what you want to call it, how he's going to be managed in terms of usage. I'll just read it to you guys here. It says, thanks for being a customer. Your data usage for the billing cycle has exceeded a typical consumer's data usage. Your data traffic has now been deprioritized for the remainder of the billing cycle. All right, so what that tells me is they don't want to disconnect people. They don't want to cut people off. They don't want to lose customers. That's not the intention. It looks to me like they're just looking to preserve the network, and I'm not sure what exactly that means. It would be interesting to see what his speeds were, a day before receiving this notification and then a day after receiving the notification. Because then it'd be nice to know, like, what that deprio looks like. Is it momentary? Is it permanent, right, for the 10 days? That's kind of, I don't know. I guess we would like to know, but, I'm not sure if he's, sharing any of those things. But this is kind of like a forewarning to the Verizon 5G Home Internet customer out there. If you are considered to be a power user, Verizon is going to reserve the right to manage the network and try to preserve it so that way it doesn't negatively impact the experience of other folks who are using the same service or, are trying to use the network as well. Now remember, the home internet is unlimited, and that's not changing. They're not saying, we're going to cut you off at some arbitrary data number. But they're basically saying, look, you've used a lot. We got to make sure other folks have a high quality network experience. So we're going to have to deprioritize you at times of congestion, which is the same kind of rules and guidelines that they do for mobility users too on a lot of plans. Right. So this is not out of the realm of possibility. This is not out of left field. I'm not shocked by this. I think this is typical. I think this is to be expected when it comes to a shared resource like this. I think this is actually kind of, the norm. I think this is what we can expect. And all the carriers do this. I mean, AT&T puts you on a permanent QCI 9. You're always deprioed, for AT&T Internet Error. And then for T-Mobile, if you go over a terabyte, I think they do the same thing. So it's not so outlandish. It's pretty typical, and I think it's fair to expect it. Does this mean that you should get rid of the service? Does this mean that you should, just cut it off and go to something else? I guess if the deprio becomes so noticeable and hinders your ability to do things as you normally would, then maybe, you go back to wireline, and I don't even know if that's a guarantee that they're going to treat you well. They might deprioritize you too, or force you into some $50 add-on to go unlimited or something. I've seen that from Cox and other wireline providers. But this is good consumer information. We appreciate Chase sharing these with us on Twitter, or the X platform, excuse me. And, it's good for us to know so we can navigate these waters. Anyways, if you guys are using fixed wireless access or 5G home internet, have you used this much? Have you been sent these notifications? Does this impact the way that you plan on using the service in the future? Are you looking to replace it? Is it a deal breaker for you? Let me know. And tell me how much internet usage you use at home to kind of give us an idea of that sort of thing. Anyways, thanks for watching the video. Like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.